Hi guys, welcome back to another chapter day series, the no Wi-Fi chapters. Today we're reading Judges chapter 8, and previously in Judges, we talked about the Israelites being delivered from the Mennonites, but they went through several trials which tested their faith and respect for God. And God put them into these trials because there were 32,000 Israelites and He didn't want to take all of them, there were too much. So He had to test the best of the best. And it was really amazing and enlightening on faith and respect for God. Yeah, so that's basically what we talked about. But today we're going to be reading Judges chapter 8. And this is how many verses? I'm currently looking at my Bible. This is 35 verses, which is moderately short, I guess. So this chapter is talking about how Gideon proved God's presence and faithfulness by defeating some Median kings, Zebah and Zalmunna. I don't think I pronounced that right, but yeah, he defeated those kings by proving God's presence and faithfulness. And it also talked about how God ruled over them, but Gideon died. Now God ruled over the Israelites and those other kings and cities that the kings owned. But then Gideon died, and the Israelites went to worship idols called Baals and treated Gideon's family badly. So remember, Gideon was the one that prayed to God to release the Israelites from the hand of the Midianites. And now, when Gideon has died, the Israelites are treating Gideon's family like outcasts. That is really just awful, truly. But yeah, it's really, really awful that they did that. Very, very awful. I feel so bad. Like, why did they have to do that? But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward chapter. It's long, but really straightforward. I really hope you guys are doing fine and staying alright. Tomorrow is going to be my excellence breakthrough point tomorrow. I'm getting my slacky little life. Well, my life isn't totally slacky. It's just like my quiet time and kind of like my routine with God, the time I set aside in my life and in my day-to-day life for God. That's the part that I feel has just been really slacky, and I want to set it right tomorrow by God's grace. So yeah, that's really all that this chapter is about. Straightforward. I know I've not been putting any memory verses for the last 5 chapters, but remember I said my quiet time has been very slacky, but I really hope tomorrow I'll be able to do that and have a memory verse for Judges chapter 9. And also, I've not been able to listen to any of my podcast, and I mostly get motivations from there, and it kind of like links to my memory verses in a way which always shocks me. Thinking about it now, it's really shocking that what I learned from my podcasts in a way links to my memory verses. But yeah, the creators of the podcast are taking a break because they can't manage college and also doing a podcast fully and putting all their focus into it, which is better than doing something half and half. But I understand that. I think I'm just gonna look for another podcast to listen in the meanwhile, or I'll probably go back to some of the old podcasts that they have. And if you're wondering what is the name of this podcast, it's called Coffee and Bible Time. They are an amazing podcast. They give amazing podcasts. Like, it's amazing. I think I've put a link before to their podcast. I've said podcast for too long or too many times. But yeah, it's really amazing. I'll put a link in the description box to the podcast for this video. I've said it too much. And for our own podcast, I've literally not been doing anything for our podcast, for Chapter Day podcast. I've only done 2, and that's it. But I'm gonna try to get back on track tomorrow, and probably when my internet comes on, I'll be more versatile and have more longevity, I guess, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing fine and staying alright. I hope this chapter was enlightening and helpful in some manner or form, and I really pray God gives us more grace, spiritual strength, spiritual discipline, and willingness to fill ourselves with His word and just to become better overall from our mistakes and our falling points. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing fine, and see you in tomorrow's chapter. Bye.